It seems like everywhere we turn, there's another doomsdayer saying, the market's gonna crash, I need to sell my property, this can't last forever. So what's really happening in the real estate market today? Stay tuned. I'm Ryan Schramm, broker and owner of Ryan Schramm Real Estate here in San Clemente. Thanks so much for joining me today. So what's going on in the real estate market? Let's start with housing strength. There's only 19% of the nation right now that believes it's a good time to buy a home. And yes, while we're experiencing some record high prices, let's dive into why it's still a great market and a great time to buy. Why are people so doomsday about the market now? It's because just back in 2006 and 2007, we had a huge crash in the market, the Great Recession. We had a mortgage crisis. That's something that in today's world is not happening. We do not have a credit crisis on our hands. You cannot do a stated income loan where you just fill out and make up your income and you get a loan. It is extremely difficult to get a loan, let me tell you. I am going through the process right now, and the lenders will ask for everything. They are completely undressing me. They want a letter of explanation for why I moved money to my buddy to go on a fishing trip. I mean, it's pretty crazy how intense it is to get a loan. So why is that important? Because people can't falsify income like what happened in 2006 and 2007. That Great Recession was caused by a credit bubble. You could get a loan for anything, and the problem was people were saying, well, it's gonna appreciate. I'll get out of this crazy loan by refinancing and getting my equity out. That's not happening anymore today. The current housing boom is a direct result of supply and demand. I have done a lot of homework on this, and we have a supply problem in this country of housing, right down to the big home builders. They are the ones that are forecasting 2, 3, 4 years in advance, and the great home builders of America are not going to be able to keep up with this demand. They're not going to be able to make enough houses as it is now. So what's that going to do? It's going to continue to put pressure on resale, and it's going to continue to drive prices up. So some quick stats for you. Supply has been up a smidge the last few weeks, but it is still drastically low. In fact, 46% lower supply is than where we were last year in 2020. And check this out. We are 63% lower on supply than the last 5-year average. That just simply means there isn't enough housing to go around. So to understand the drastic disparities in today's present market from where we were in 2006, 7, and 8, check this number out. In the last crazy market of 2006, there were over 18,000 homes available in Orange County. Today, less than 2,500. How about demand? Well, interest rates being low in that kind of 3.25% average, that's going to continue to fuel demand, because as prices go up, the homes stay relatively affordable because the interest rate is less. All right, so let's talk about the wave of foreclosures that many of you have probably heard is definitely coming. There's a lot of people out there that's saying, are you seeing this? Realtor.com added foreclosures to their website. There's gonna be so many foreclosures that hit the market. Why is this getting talked about? Because people are saying that anyone who took advantage of forbearance on their loan, or they deferred their payment, when that money becomes due, when the bank says, all right, your forbearance period is over, that money is due now, a lot of people think that those homeowners aren't going to be able to make up the difference. Well, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people that when the pandemic hit, they were scared. So they elected to take advantage of forbearance. Those people, and I'm talking about in my specific circle, a lot of them ended up doing really well in their businesses during COVID when they didn't know that was going to happen. Now, I'm not saying some people didn't experience severe hardship, but what's happened here is home prices have continued to go up, right? So let's say somebody did elect to forbear and they have $20,000 of mortgage payments stacked up coming due in a balloon payment, and they lost their job. What are they gonna do? Well, if they couldn't pay that money back, their home has appreciated. So they're not gonna get foreclosed on because they would just sell their home, take advantage of the equity, and go rent something. So this wave of foreclosures is more myth than it is fact. All right, so take that example that I just gave you. Let's put some hard numbers to it. 7.2 million Americans elected to take advantage of forbearance. 5.2 million Americans are exited out of the forbearance period. So they're no longer forbearing their mortgage. Check this number out. Of that 5.2 million who are no longer in forbearance, 90% of those people are on time and current with their mortgage. So what does that leave? 5.2 million of those people are current or they've paid off their forbearance amount. There was a total of 7.2 million Americans who elected to forbear. So of the remaining 2 million people who are in the forbearance period, 90% of those people have 10% more equity in their homes, which just means they could simply sell the house if they couldn't come current on their loan. So what does all this information mean for you? If you're a seller, now is a fabulous time to list and sell your home. I'm seeing a ton of people do it just because they've had more equity than they've ever seen. Equity equals options. If you're a buyer, historically low mortgage rates. I mean, the buying power that we're seeing right now is so incredible. You can lock up a 2.8 to 3.2% mortgage depending on if you're buying a house or a condo for 30 years. That is absolutely incredible, my friends. If you talk to wise people who have been in the real estate market for a long time, they had to a lot of times buy their first home with 13, 14, 15% interest rates. So take advantage of the low interest rates and jump into this market now. Don't stay on the sidelines and watch it pass you by. If you've got any current questions on that, Ryan, I don't know, this doesn't make sense, I'm just not so sure, text me, call me, let's talk about it. Because all of this information that I'm bringing to you, we spent a lot of time researching this, and it's important to get the facts out there. I look forward to hearing from you soon.